Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be well, it should be at least, a absolutely delicious recipe. Let me give you a little background on this. I was recently working in Vegas for a week, and while I was there, I splurged a bit and went out with some people that I was working with there, and we went to this awesome restaurant called Valentino in the Venetian, and I had this delicious pasta dish. It was called seafood fettuccine. Didn't really know what to expect. It said it came with a cream sauce, but other than that, it didn't really have too much of a description. What I was shocked about when I got it, the sauce had salmon flavor. It was just beautiful. Can't believe I never thought to do that before. So what I'm going to do here is try to recreate it AHLO style, cut out some of the really not too good stuff for you, because if you do a normal white sauce, it's a lot of heavy cream. We are going to substitute our fat-free half and half, and we're going to be reducing this quite a bit. That's how we're going to get our real creaminess out of it. And I'm also going to throw in an entire very finely diced onion. That's also going to help with the texture. Now we're going to let this onion disappear into the sauce. We don't want the texture of the onion, we just want the flavor and the body, so that's going to help firm it up. For the bulk of the sauce, we're going to be using a nice Chardonnay, and this is nothing expensive. It was like $6. Just a normal, middle-of-the-road dry wine is all you need for this, and again, this is going to boil away, and we just want the flavor essence from this. So that is going to encompass pretty much all of our sauce. We're of course going to put some garlic in it, and just a couple tablespoons of EVGA. That is going to help saute up our onion and get the sauce started. Other than that, it is really simple. I'm going to smoke the salmon. That is what's going to give us that awesome body of flavor that I was tasting in that recipe. And if you saw my other videos, you already know how to smoke the salmon, but I'll take you through that again today. Really easy there. This is an extremely healthy recipe. Virtually fat-free. There's a little bit of natural fat in the seafood, but it's good for you, and just a tiny bit that we're using in the EVGA. But again, that's just for sauteing. We're not making the sauce out of that or anything. We're just going to be using a tiny pinch of salt in the sauce itself. None of it is going on the fish. I am only smoking it with this lemon and pepper seasoning. And then we have, of course, some fresh ground pepper. We're also using some large raw shrimp. You don't need to go crazy, but you do want fairly big shrimp in this, because these are going to go in whole into the fettuccine. So that's going to help not only soak up the sauce, but it's part of the main meal. So you do want some nice big shrimp. I got this for like $7. So there's one bag of that. What is this, a pound? Yeah, 1 pound bag of shrimp. I've got 1 pound of nice big bay scallops. And we are going to be using about a pound of salmon. I've got 4.5 in this package. You know me, if I'm going to be cooking, I'm going to be cooking. So I'm going to just use some of the other salmon later on in the week for myself. But not all of the salmon is going in the recipe, so don't worry about that. Really not that expensive to make. This is enough to feed, and of course our fettuccine. Also very important to cook this perfectly. Alright, follow the directions on the package. If you have to do a test to get it al dente, please do so, but you do want a lot of texture in the fettuccine. Do not overcook it. That's very important. So that is it. Now I have to go out and let's start the smoker. Fish is going to take a couple hours, real low and slow, 200, 2¼ max, and I've got some hickory, I believe, that I can use with that. So let's get going. Okay, the fish is on. Let me show you what I've done here. I started with a full chimney. It's off to the side. This is smoking indirect. I did a fairly light coating of the lemon pepper. Can't see. Oh, that burns the eyes. Fairly light coating of the lemon pepper. Hickory on top. On my grill, top vent's open about 1/4 at the most, and bottom's open, big B. That is going to give me temps around 200, and that's what we want. So this is going to pour off smoke here, and I don't need to do anything to it for the next 2 hours, and it should be absolutely perfect. Alright, errands are done. Let's check out the salmon, see how we're coming along. There's about a half an hour left on the clock. Oh, that's looking good. That is smelling so good. Just oily, delicious salmon scent. Beautiful. Alright. Yeah, that's looking good. Well, I'm going to start the sauce because it's going to take some prep and got a lot of reduction to do. Got to find my big pan. Okay, the salmon has about 20 minutes left on it, so we're going to start the sauce. Really easy. First thing we have to do is very finely chop up an onion. Okay, got our pan warming up here. We're just going to put in a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. This is just to cook down our onions. Done with that. Alright. Get the oil heated up. And in goes the onion. Bring your heat down to a medium. Now we want to cook this down till they start to soften. You don't want them to brown or caramelize. We want these to disappear into the sauce. So right now, we're just going to sweat them. They're going to reduce to about half. Get super soft, go a little bit translucent, and we'll be ready for the next step. I've got about 1.5 gallons of water here. I'm actually going to put some more in there. And that's heating up. That takes quite a while. And that's obviously going to be for the pasta. And try to have everything done about the same time. This is going to take about 15 minutes to finish the sauce and get everything reduced down, ready to put the seafood in. It's okay if the salmon goes cold because everything comes together in the pan at the end, so you don't have to worry about stuff staying hot. This is super easy. And if you're like me and you're just cooking for yourself, this is really nice because it reheats very well. The only big difference is going to be the texture of the shrimp if you microwave it later on, but it's not bad by any means. It's better fresh, but it's still awesome even days later. You can freeze it, you can refrigerate it, real easy. Alright, I'm going to keep sweating these for a few minutes and we'll be ready for the next step. Alright, we have softened. The onions are just starting to brown, so I'm going to put in half a bottle of the wine. And I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high. We're going to let this simmer and reduce down. This will stop the cooking of the onions and really start to concentrate some flavors in here. We're going to get most of this moisture out. Probably about 2/3 of this is going to boil away. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. Let this set for another 5 or 10 minutes. Come back. Okay, now comes the real meat and potatoes of the sauce. We're going to put in 1 quart of the fat-free half and half. Kick your heat back down to a medium at the most. We want to slowly stir this in so that nothing starts to burn. You can see our wine's reduced down. Still some liquid in there, but mostly just flavor. This is going to help thicken things up. So go ahead and stir in the cream, or the fat-free half and half I should say. No actual cream in this recipe. Now, like we did with the wine, this is going to reduce. We're going to take this down about half. This is going to take longer. We don't want to do this at high heat. And we also need to cook some of our seafood in it, the shrimp and the scallops. So keep stirring this as soon as you put it in, because it's going to still be in a very hot pan. You don't want it to burn. You want it to come up to temperature rather slowly. Alright, we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And come on, that's not bad for this whole recipe. Alright. And pepper to taste. I'm going to put in about 2 teaspoons worth, just regular black pepper. There's no heat in this recipe. Now, as our sauce is further reducing here, still got a ways to go, but we want to put in our seafood now and start to cook it. First, we're going to make the salmon base for the sauce. And you can see that it doesn't stay homogenized like using heavy cream, but it still tastes good. So what I'm going to do, I just got the salmon off the smoker. I'm taking 2 of the smoked salmon steaks and just taking the skin off. You can see it's tender and moist and juicy, absolutely perfectly done. Got that beautiful smoke ring on the outside. Perfectly done. I'm just going to tear this all apart and stir it right into the sauce. This is where I need a bigger kitchen. Here we go. Sorry if you can hear that whistling noise. We're having a hell of a rainstorm again, and it's actually buzzing past the kitchen vent up on the roof, and it happens to be right above the stove, obviously. So it's really loud in here. Not sure what it sounds like in the video. So I'm just going to crush all this up, mix it in, and then we'll be ready for the rest of the seafood, which is going to cook in the sauce. Okay, we've cooked this down a bit more. Now we're ready to put in the seafood. I broke the big scallops in half, peeled the shrimp, and they can go right in. These are only going to take 4 or 5 minutes to cook. Get in there. Got one trying to escape. I don't think so. If you don't know how to peel a shrimp, super easy. Just hold the tail with one hand, grab the inside of the meat, peel back the shell. You just squeeze, just like squeezing out a popsicle or an ice pop, and just, that's it. So if you get good at it, it takes you all of 2 seconds of shrimp. Whew, that's hot. Alright, I'll just stir this in around. These are going to cook in no time. I'm going to go ahead and put in the pasta. Cook it to al dente according to the box. Me personally, I cook them a minute or 2 under. I like them on the firm side. And my box says 11 to 12 minutes, so I'm going to set my timer for 10 and give it a taste. Always give it a taste. Before I do that, I'm going to put in my dill. Good couple teaspoons. Stir that in. Alright. Let that seafood cook. And we'll get in our pasta. There's 5 minutes to go. Now what we need to do is put the big chunks of salmon into the sauce. They're going to go right along with the shrimp and scallop combo. What you want to do is chunk them apart. These are going to be bite-sized, just like the shrimp and scallop. So be gentle with these. We're not going to do much stirring after this. We're going to toss in the pasta just to get everything coated. And that's really about it. All we're doing here with the salmon is basically warming it up. So this is going to sit in here and just add to the flavor package until the pasta is ready. You can leave the cover off from this point out. Alright, the pasta is perfect. It's got a great bite and chewiness to it. So, kill the heat on everything. Drain the pasta, and it goes right into the pan. Well, it turns out it was easier to put it in the pot. I just tossed it back and forth a couple times to get it mixed. That worked just fine. So, the cream sauce using the fat-free half and half, definitely not the consistency of a normal heavy cream-based sauce, but let's see how it tastes. Got some shrimp in here, got scallops, got my salmon, a little bit of sauce on it. Now the worst thing in this is the pasta, so it's all about moderation. But you have to admit, we cooked it pretty darn healthy. Alright, let's see how this tastes. What I'm looking for is that salmon flavor on the pasta, in the sauce itself. That's what really made it magical. There we go. Not bad. It's definitely missing some of the richness, but I expected that, not having any butter or cream. But it's got the flavor. It's got that smokiness. The pasta itself has a smoky flavor. I dig it. Let me try some of the salmon. Yep, that is the flavor. Alright, well, I'd call that a hit. It's not inexpensive, but you can see it feeds a freaking army. For a one-pot meal, that is not bad. I think I got out of the store for 63 bucks for this, so not bad at all. Oh my god, I forgot the garlic. Ha, that's what's missing. I'm like, wait a minute, something is missing out of my pasta. Oh well, I'll remember that next time, but for those of you that are watching this and then doing it, don't forget the garlic. Put in a few cloves into the sauce. Alright, cool. Well, there you go. There is my healthier, I'll call it, seafood pasta. Smoked salmon, scallops, and shrimp. See you guys next time.